Hello everyone, Daniel here, unsurprisingly, and today I'm going to try and produce a bit of a talk explaining why bad viewing figures happen and what you can potentially do about it. And I know before you think of it, me telling people how to do better with their views is a bit like asking Fritzl how to be better at being a dad, but all the same I've put the effort in to do some research and it may prove useful to you. So first I'm going to start with this slide, and it's the insight of one of the videos I made, as it says on the left there. And as you can see, if you look in particular at the top right of the slide, you can see that if we follow the trend of views, apart from the first 2 days, that line almost never moves. Now this is an example of videos that don't get many views, as seen by the fact that the total views for this, despite being made on the 30th of March, has racked up 226. Now, from about, I don't know, maybe mid-April onwards, it's pretty much a flat line. Now, if we look at, because you can see the letters as well though on it, and that's when you have links and when new links to the video are made. You can see that A to J, which are the only ones there, all happen within the first 24 hours of it being made. This is a very, very bad sign, because it means that since then no other website has used it, no one's ever tried to use it on, you see how H there is first view from a mobile device, and it's racked up 2 in all the time it's been up. So you can tell that's pretty shitty, even by anyone's standards. I mean, the most views, as you'd expect, come from the subscriber module, racking up 102. Apart from that, no other source has taken much interest in it. And this is quite a common trend for why people don't get views of a particular magnitude here on the website. Another example I've picked up is Octane Blues. Now, it's not quite as extreme, but this is pretty much exactly what most people's videos look like their views if they're not doing as well as they hope they would. Now, this is very typical. It's got a little bit more curve to it than mine, because mine was an extreme case, and I picked that on purpose because it was an extreme case. But this is the most common. I mean, A is the most recent event, and that happened maybe a 6th or a 7th of the way along the timeline, and I've not cropped the timeline. That's the timeline I've been presented by YouTube. Now, Octane Blue, as you know, is a big uploader. He's got a lot of subscribers, and you'd expect for him to get a lot of views. No, this has been done today, print screened, and he has 603 from this video. Now, that is less than 10% of his subscribers have watched that, which is terrible, but it's only made worse by the fact that if you look at the trend of that graph, since its initial surge it has probably gained 100 views, and that's over the whole time that it's been there. 100 views in months, which is, it'll amount to like 1 view a day, if that. So if we look along the letters again, 190 of these views come from the subscriber module, so that's just under a third. It's about 30% or so. And you got to think, for a guy as popular, has got as many views, as many subs as he has, to see things like only 26 of his views came from his channel, 32 came from a mobile phone, or something similar, you know, these iPods, iPads, I assume they'll count through that. So it's quite poor. Now, I've got this example as well, just a third one, just to make sure I've been very thorough. And the reason I've brought this one up specifically is because this is a guy that consistently moans about his bad views, so I thought it'd be very relevant to bring it up. Is a Nitro Blader 55, if you couldn't read the slide there, and one of his PBR videos. Now, his is a slightly different situation, because obviously the graph is still absolutely woeful, but only 66 of his views come from his people going on their home pages when they've logged in and seeing the video on their subscriber module and clicking it. Now, that may be partly due to the fact that YouTube has been suffering some bugs, especially of late, because I'm looking at mine not looking at it at the moment, but I was looking at it 2 minutes ago, and I couldn't even see my subscriber module, and it said in my recent activity that nothing had happened, which is blatantly wrong, because something is always happening. Now, more likely is that people just don't look, and that what that implies is that more of his viewers are not his own subscribers, but are just more random people that have found his video. Now, if that was me, I'd be quite pissed off. As I know from what I've been looking at the moment, most of my views do come from my subscribers. It's just that most of my subscribers, like with a lot of people, seem to be dead. Now, this brings me on to my next slide, is that you expect when someone subscribes to you that they subscribe to you because they like what you've put up. Unless you're one of these sub for sub tossers I've put very, very subtly in this slide, you expect people to subscribe to you because they enjoy what you do. They don't subscribe to you usually just because they can, or because it's some type of magic technology that you're able to do this. This is why it winds a lot of people up. I mean, a lot of people simply do not care. And good for them. They're the fortunate ones who don't care, because it doesn't annoy them in any way. But for the other people that think views are quite important, it is a big pain. Now, this is the opposite side of the coin, is that this is a video that, as you can see if you look at the graph, started quite badly for views but got considerably better. It had a second surge, as I'm going to call it, and it even had a bit of a third surge where letter B is. Now, this is actually a video that was made by someone called CatHat10, who made it for me. Really, it was quite nice. It was a nice change, and I brought it up at the time a couple of times. As you can see from the graph, let's have a look at the letters. It's had referrals from my YouTube channel. It racked up 28. It got 32 views from the UTitan forums, of which I put it on there. Actually, it got quite a lot of views from all sorts of videos that I've made, if you notice, rather than from a subscription module, which is something you're going to know. Now, it got views not from its subscribers, it got views from elsewhere. It has never suffered a massive viewing slump. It's always progressed quite a bit over time, and this is massively outperforming the subscriber base of that person, and good for them. They've been quite lucky, quite talented, they've got good resources. What can I say? The other example is this one. Now, this is my video. This is a PBR video of mine that has the most views out of all of them, and it goes against my trend of views. As you can see, at no point does that curve, it's not even a curve, it's a straight line. Now, if we look through into the link section again, we can see why it's got so many views. Now, I'm going to look in particular at G, H and I think, in the link section. It's got 234 views from people searching PBR Magnazone, 1,103 views from searching Magnazone, and 160 from searching Magnazone PBR. Now, this brings me on to the solutions. The potential solutions, that is, because even if you follow all these, you can still go hopelessly wrong. I'm not going to say this as a guarantee. Knowing a famous person is always helpful. I mean, when Uton closed his channel, I suspect a lot of people's views went down, although a lot of people would claim that he was quite a selfish person. I'm not going to be here to judge that. I'll leave that one up to you. You can maybe even put that in the comments section if you're particularly bothered, because famous people often will link to your channel and your videos, and therefore you get more views. It's as simple as that. Now, I've done a bit more digging into proper research, and it's using less tags seems to be the best way to go, because for every tag you put on that's extra, the priority of every tag you put on drops. For example, if I just had a video that had one tag and it said Magnazone in it, it would probably get more views than if I had a video that had Magnazone as a tag and 12 other tags that maybe didn't become as successful as that other tag. Use words that people are going to search for. I know it's obvious, but people still don't do it. I mean, if you're a very obscure YouTuber, odds are putting your YouTube name down as a tag is neither use nor ornament. Because if you're a person no one's heard of, they're never going to search for you, are they, in a search bar? That's why quite a lot of people put very famous and popular YouTubers into their tags in an attempt to hope that people search for that person, and then they'll find their video that has nothing to do with the person they've searched for. It's not something I'm particularly fond of myself, but it's something that does happen. And if in doubt, and if you've done all of these and it's all failed and you're getting depressed, just don't care. I mean, at the end of the day, YouTube, unless you get paid for it, is a hobby, so you shouldn't care too much. I know that's a bit hypocritical coming from me of all people, but well, it's best it's do as I say, not as I do, and all that. Viewing is not particularly important to a lot of people. An example would be Chico is a person that's always been brought up with that. Tyler, if you want to know his first name. He's one of those who doesn't seem to particularly care about his views, although ironically he gets quite a lot of views at the same time, so take that however you wish. But anyway, all I can say is I hope this has been useful for you. I know it's dragged on for about 12 minutes, so I apologise, but I do hope this in some way has helped you out. If you need any other help along these lines, give me a call.